Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, please hit subscribe. Show me some love and support on my channel, alright? Safe space for everyone included, LGBT content as well, mental health, story times, and more, okay? So hit the bell, subscribe, and let's get started to watch this reaction video I'm gonna watch, okay? Also, I did a autism theme. For this is a silvery blue eyeshadow I did for Autism Speaks because the color is blue, and this I didn't have any green, but I did have blue, yellow, and red for the autism colors. You know, this is representation autism in girls and women, and supporting that because I have autism. I am on the Autism Spectrum. And I am very obsessed with makeup. I used to hate makeup, but now I love it, and I'm just like, I can't get enough of it. And not just that, but I also love anime, and I love making videos on YouTube to express myself. And I just like being me, no matter how weird I am, okay? So show some love and support. Subscribe to me, alright? Alright, so I'm going to react to what women with autism want you to know. Alright, let's get started.
When people think of a disease, they think of something that is degenerative and that will hurt you and kill you. Autism is not a disease. Nope. It is a developmental disability. It's about living our best possible lives with this condition.
I don't know, I always get the you don't look autistic thing. Autism is like an internal thing, not an external thing. No one looks autistic.
When people find that out, the first thing they're like, you don't act autistic. And I'm like, I had to go through a lot of stuff to learn how to mask my idiosyncrasy.
I view autism as realness.
The words high functioning and low functioning are used by people, again, who are talking about autism from an outside point of view. So rather than using those labels, we tend to say minimal support needs and high support needs to describe the different kind of levels of the spectrum that people fall on.
I definitely would disagree with the idea that we're not emotional. I think we're actually highly emotional. I think that we just, many times, we don't express it the way that people express it.
Overwhelming, so intense that in order to function, you kind of have to sort of be still or shut down.
People will often say to me, oh, you're so high functioning, I would never know you had autism unless you said something. And I say, well, you don't live inside my skin, and you don't know how hard it is for me sometimes just to get through a day.
It's very, very draining. Even with people that I care for or enjoy being around, I have to psych myself up to be around.
A lot of women that I know who are autistic are not diagnosed until their 20s, 30s, or even beyond. A large part of this is because the way that we diagnose autism is by using criteria that were created observing boys.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Autism looks different
that is true.
in girls and women than it does in boys.
People don't expect to see someone else like me or my two youngest children who are on the spectrum. Also, we know that anyone can, be on the spectrum.
Not every
I didn't become aware of Asperger's until I was already an adult. At the time, finding a doctor was really difficult because there were people that were like, oh, women don't have that. And then there were other people that were like, well, you're too high functioning.
And we think of people on the spectrum as not being interested in sex, not having any kind of sex drive or sexual interest, and it's just not true. We just may need more support in order to learn how to make that happen. We don't naturally understand the nuances that are involved in this, and there are a lot of nuances.
There's a huge thing where people think that people on the spectrum, that they all don't have relationships, and if they do, that it doesn't even reach a sexual point. Having or not having those things does not determine whether one is on the spectrum or not.
Some of the ways that I show love that he might have thought were odd, he now understands that it's just my, my love language, my way of communicating, and in a sense, he kind of serves as my interpreter to the neurotypical world.
Often autistic people don't get taught sex ed at all, let alone like how to protect themselves in like the real world from like date rape. These are topics that often aren't taught to autistic teenagers because adults like don't want to deal.
I'm a writer.
I definitely started off with the interests of astronomy. I actually ended up being one of the Mars One finalists, but it tends to be a stereotype, and I did fall into that stereotype.
When I was younger, and I had no outlet. You know, nobody wanted to hear from me, and I felt that I couldn't be myself, so I turned to writing.
people picked on me
I
for
love
any
the
number
writing
of things,
too.
and I didn't
Oh
know
my
why. I didn't know
God.
what it was that they saw
I
that was
still love
different.
writing
Nobody
all
would
the
ever
time.
tell me that. You know, it's like somebody making fun of a blind person. Only in this case, you're blind socially.
I felt broken. I felt strange. I felt different. Everything was so simple. For other people, everything they understood so easily that I couldn't understand, that I couldn't grasp or do. I just didn't understand what was so wrong with me.
The travails and difficulties I experienced with bullying and with being suicidal from a very young age. And I would say that we all start from somewhere, but that isn't necessarily where we're going to end up. And you have to believe that there is going to be a future. I didn't have that belief at that point. I didn't know that I was even going to have a
I
future.
get it. I
It's
get
very
that
difficult
so
to go
much.
through
I
many,
feel
many
worse,
years,
like,
especially
have,
as a child.
I have been
You know,
bullied
having no friends
for
and
so
no one
long.
willing to extend a
I
hand
get it.
out of friendship to you.
As I got older, like there were like high school, college afterwards, there's enough misfits in the world, like people who got picked on. There's so many of us. So you do find your tribe.
I wished I could go back to that little Morenike and give her a hug and let her know that she was just fine the way she was and that she was going to be all right.
I think things are going to be a lot better for the next generation. Like, I'm actually really hopeful. They are going to be diagnosing children more, and there is going to be more social acceptance.
You know, your kid might be behind their peers, but it doesn't mean they're going to be behind forever.
Whatever that is for them. Success is about your child growing up to be the best version of themselves that they can be, whoever and whatever that is.
Yay! Finished. Oh my gosh. Like, not the fact that I was in IEP, special education program, individualized learning disability. You know, I have a specific learning disability. I have information from my school and my grades and what they said about me and how that I had a specific learning disability, but they didn't know what it was. So they just said, "Oh, she have a specific learning disability because she learned different in class with math and numbers." Like, I could read, but before it was hard. And I like to write. I like writing, and it's been a very long time since I learned to write. I mean, writing, and I'll write poetry, write songs, or just write, like, or draw. I love art stuff. I love anime, and it was really, for me, I don't know math. It's hard for me to learn numbers and math and stuff. Well, mathematics, yeah. And I don't know. Part of me felt so different, like different than other kids, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. Like, why? Like, why was I so different? Why? I never knew. All I knew was that I learned different. That's all I knew. I've never heard of autism, autistic, aspergers. I never heard of any of those until I was way older, like 17 or 18 years old. I've never heard of it. So then one person who was my friend, and she knew me, and she knew I was special, right? But when she said, "Yeah, you're autistic," and I was like, I did not understand what she was saying. I didn't know what that meant. What was that word? What is autistic? I didn't know what that was. What is autism? I didn't know. So I had to Google it. But then when I was reading at first, it only showed up boys, men, boys, only boys. Like, that's all I've been looking up. I'm like, why did you say I'm autistic? It only says for boys. I don't get it. Like, I didn't understand. So then I just, like, brushed it off like it was nothing. I didn't know. Like, how am I supposed to know? And then later on, I looked it up again. When I finally got a therapist, I was, like, super happy I got one. For the first time, I've always wanted a therapist because I never had anyone to talk to. And someone finally listened to me. I was just really happy. And then I get to see a doctor, a psychiatrist, and then one person mentioned, "Do you know what autism is?" Like, that was the second time someone said that to me. I'm just like, I've heard of it. I've heard that it's more common in guys and girls. And he's like, yeah, it shows up more in boys because with girls it's difficult to diagnose, you know. And then he'll write down my symptoms. Yeah, I have major depression, and then I have anxiety, and that I have ASD. and I'm just like, I had to Google it. What is ASD? Autism Spectrum Disorder. I don't like the disorder part, just Autism Spectrum, that's all. Like, I don't like the ASD part, just AS, Autism Spectrum. Like, to me, that's, like, simple. I don't like when they say, like, oh, you have a disorder, or she just has autism. I'm like, no, spectrum, because I am on the spectrum, and then, like, yeah, the spectrum, because I have unique symptoms, I guess, unique characteristics, basically, and I just, like, wow, like, that's, looking up more information about girls with autism, like, I looked up so many articles, so many YouTube videos to learn about it, because I wanted to know more and more. And so some of them I didn't connect with, because I'm like, wait, some of it is true that I like yeah, that's part of it to me, but the rest of it, no. I'm like, maybe I have my own, and it's true. It's a spectrum. It's a wide range, because there's different types of people with autism, and there's so many. Some are smart. They're very smart. But some of them, there's some are very smart, but some of the things that they don't like for example, they like to cancel out the noise, the sounds, and textures. And some of them, the light hurts their eyes. There's more information that you can learn about it. And there's a difference between boys and girls, because girls are different. They have some similarities, but at the same time, we're all unique in our own way. And I want to react to more autism videos about autism and aspergers, for April of, Autism Awareness Month. Hello. Show love and support, alright? Support me, because I am myself, and I'm a vampire, and I love being weird, and I'm adorable. Yeah. Subscribe to my channel. For more videos, please subscribe, okay? Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll let you guys know whenever I upload a video, which is very randomly, so hit the bell, subscribe down there, alright? I love you all, my beautiful people, and until next time, also, follow me on Instagram at livingdeadgirlmelissa. Right. Follow me on Instagram right there. Here, so you can just check it out. Right, links are down below. For more videos and playlists are down there. Until next time, bye.